Okay, just getting my battery charged up for my electric fence. Still a lot of snow, but the bears will be out before we know it, and I'm gone for about 2 weeks, so got to get those my electric fence up so my bees are protected, because I've got a lot of time and energy invested in those, so it's just not worth the effort. I'm hoping by the time I come back, this white stuff's gone, and I can start doing my inspections and getting my bees going. I've got a lot of plans again this year, but really, like everything in beekeeping, it's a lot of it's weather dependent, so hopefully we get a good season. Just down here, I'll have to do a few more, but these are those Apimaye bottom boards. So I'm going to be experimenting with those. So I do have to trim the foam off. That's my own addition. So just to give it a bit more thermal resistance. Plastic, this is softish plastic, so the thermal conductivity is not too bad, but it's still, it will conduct, I guess, heat or cold. As you know, I'm an insulation advocate year round, so hence the reason I spray foamed it. I'll trim it off with my sharp knife, and it should be all nice and good. And for a few bucks there, it's worth the extra foam. But once I get them in use, I'll let you know how they go, because these boards here will allow me to basically collect pollen in a very easy fashion. So my goal is to collect pollen more for study and research than for human consumption or bee consumption. And like a reason I like these was it also has a a debris tray. So this is the pollen collector. So if I take everything out, there's a lot of gadgets, but if I take everything out, you can see how it does have a screen bottom. So during my treatments, it's not what. Basically, I'll be able to put some sticky paper here and do some mite count drops and stuff like that. So that's what I'm looking for. So anyways, I got them half price, shipped. They were 35 Canadian each. Full price with the shipping from, I think it was Calgary, it would have been a lot more, but I guess I saw the sale and I jumped on it, and I bought 6, 4 for myself and 2 for another. So yeah, I'll install them during my first cleanup, and I guess the goal will be to do some early spring collection. I haven't done much of that because putting that contraption in the front is annoying. So this will just allow me to do an hour here or there of collecting without really doing much. Here's another observation. So not sure if you can tell there, but of the 4 colonies, there's a bit of action on the first one. The red one on the left, the blue one is very active. Then the next one is just a little bit, and then there's not much activity on 3 of the 4. That's one of the flaws with slatted racks in cold countries and in the spring, is it creates a cold barrier, especially in insulated colonies. So the second colony, so this one, where are ya? Where's my finger? That one right there doesn't have a slatted rack. And you can see there's lots of activities. So it's all about heat activation and the temperature at that entrance that triggers brood rearing. So if there's a big empty cavity, which slatted racks have, it does slow down the activity. So what that tells me, just looking at this colony, tells me that the one without the slatted rack are getting their cleansing flights out. They're much more active. So I may, as an interim measure, see if I can actually just pull these slatted racks off. It's not an easy feat with how things are set up right now. I may be able to put a power bar in there, a pry bar, and pull it out from the front, but the bees won't be very happy. So it's something I'm debating to do right now. So, but first off, first thing I'm going to do is shovel the snow around the yard. Luckily it's not too deep, because I did sprinkle some wood ash, so the wood ash really helps. Right now it's fairly soft, so it'll be not too bad. I've got my battery charged up, and what I need to do is reactivate my electric fence, just to, I guess, protect the colonies from bears, because there's some bear activity. They're starting to wake up in some places in the territory, so no point taking a chance. And as you can probably tell, I live in bear country, so we do have a pretty big grizzly and black bear population in the area. So cheers. Okay, I dug out my fence and it's all good. I'm just gonna plug in the fence in a moment. I'm taking the insurance reducers off, just to allow those two other colonies to eat up. There's a bit of activity in the other ones, but not much. I did bring a power bar, but the problem is I over-tape stuff and everything's so well sealed that I just won't be able to do it. So if we do get a warm day, I'll try to do it, but looks like it won't be for a couple of weeks. I will set up a light liquid feeder out on my deck by the house there. My wife just bought me some sugar. I'm going to use ultralight syrup, because they're still, I tried lifting those colonies up and they weigh a ton, so plenty of feed left. So out front here I added a piece of plywood. It's where a lot of bees poop and die. So I put that there to prevent the bees from drinking the water. So there's a bunch of bees on little puddles there drinking water, so I need to stop that. I think I've got a couple other pieces of plywood lying around, so tonight when the bees are back out or inside, I'll put a bunch of plywood down in the perimeter of those colonies, just so the bees can drink. Just over here by the bench and the grass here, there's little puddles there, so bees are out there drinking. So that's that. And the reason I want to put the light feed on, I'll put the rocket fuel in it too. It's probably the bees need to clear their guts, so there's a lot more poop in the snow now. They had it okay. That one colony had really good cleansing today, but a lot of bees are ending up in the snow. So the reason I want to put a feeder there is to give the bees a target, and so they have a place to go, get some energy, and then just fly back, versus forage around looking for something that doesn't exist. Because yeah, even with the snow, first pollen won't be till I'm guessing the pussy willows aren't even coming out at all, so I'd say we're a good 3 weeks to 4 weeks away from first pollen. They've got pollen feed, so I'm not too worried about that. So that's that. Okay, installing your fence wouldn't be complete without some testing. As you can see, 6.8, 9, I upped at 9. I think there was a couple of 10s. That's a ground wire. It's a positive. So I'm getting about 9, which is fine for now. I will get a bit higher a bit later. Right now it's ground's frozen. So yeah, ground's frozen, and it is what it is, but it's enough to keep the bears out. And as my previous video showed, I use a basically, let's see, it's easier to show here, but I use a alternating wire method. So I've got a hot ground, hot ground, hot ground, hot ground, all the way down with a few inches spacing in between the wires. Here there's about ½ inch, 3/4 inch of soil, and the rest is mineral sand. You can see it's sticking out right there where the mud's sticking out. So the soil here gets dry pretty quick. My well is about 100 feet deep, and it's sand, like beautiful beach sand all the way down. So I do have a couple ground pins around the fence, but most of the zappage occurs when the animal touches the top wire and then the ground wire at the same time. At this time of year, they will get zapped if they touch any of the hot wires because the ground's a little bit moist, but at some point the ground would stop working and the bees don't get zapped anymore. So anyways, just a quick update on that. So now I can go to work peacefully and not have to worry about my bees. I'll coach my wife on making sugar syrup so she can fill up the chicken feeders, and I'll make a video later on that. And again, it's just to give the bees a target versus them then just flying randomly looking for something that doesn't exist.